we have created a website that I think looks really good, or web page that looks really good. So this is it right here. I tried using Claude, okay? I'm just going to scroll through it. It really captures a lot of the essence. One of the neat things about Claude is it's really good with code, and it seems to understand like the nuanced detail if you give it that information. So these pictures, by the way, are all powered by Gemini, which is very cool. I'll tell you how to do that in a second. But even in terms of like settings and stuff like that, to get that nice little flow of buttons and things like that. Again, image created by AI, which I'll show you in just a second. But it gives you all the detail on how to do this, where you go in terms of settings and everything like that. And it lays it all out in advance. So what's cool, I'm showing you the end result first. Again, AI generated image. The purpose of this was to actually go ahead and this is specifically for transportation in and out of Cleveland International Hopkins Airport, right? So it's very heavy into SEO, but we also wanted to put some neat elements in it to give those signals to the digital channels that it is something you need to be paying attention to in terms of CLE to Cleveland, CLE to Westlake, CLE to those Mentor, all those areas around there. So it's designed specifically for that with some strong call to actions, but really a powerful page. It does not even show the cars, which I'm debating on. I was going to maybe put the cars actually in a rotator, something like that down here, just so people could actually see it. But the concept here is we're really focused on the individual and providing that elite care. If they want to go ahead and click the fleet, they can go see the fleet and stuff like that. I put up the actual brand positioning and guidelines that are in here, okay, for the doc. And I'm not going to show you the doc, but it's basically the who they're targeting, what makes them different and special, all that fun stuff. Right? And then I actually wrote my prompt in Notepad, which I do all the time anyway, and give it some context. And I borrowed some of the stuff directly from the brand positioning document on who this company is, their competitors and all that. But I did give it some detail in terms of what I was trying to accomplish, why I was trying to say some of those things, and then even, gosh, again, I did some of the research anyway on like some of the cities and things like that that are around Cleveland International Airport that would be helpful, and fed it that information. And basically what's really neat about that is it goes ahead and confirms that it's heard me, which is really neat. And then if you actually look, I think it basically says, okay, well, given that information, what do you want? What do you want me to do? I said, go ahead and create the web page for me. So it goes ahead and does this little analysis and research and things like that. I obviously told in the prompting that SEO is important and specifically which key terms to go after. So it's considering that and writing it in there. But what's really neat right here is the actual page itself. Okay, and it'll actually let's see if I can actually get it to pop up. Yeah, so it'll actually create the page itself, and I can modify it and things like that. But it creates the page. This was its first hack at it, by the way, which wasn't bad, but it didn't really take into consideration the colors and stuff like that I want to do. Anyway, after some fine tuning, I got it the way I actually wanted it. Okay, and it goes ahead and it actually creates an HTML document that you can actually see, right? Which is really neat, okay? With all the little mouse overs and stuff. And it leaves some of the images open. Sometimes it rendered the image in some cases, and others it didn't. You could see this page is very similar to what you just saw a second ago. So you go, how did you get it from here to the actual web page itself, which is this bad boy, right? And in all honesty, what I did was I just basically told it, I said, great, now go ahead and provide the instructions to me in HTML specifically for Elementor. Here it is right here. So these are good. Can you redo the branding and colors in using their default fonts? So using the paragraph, H tags, H header tags, HTML bullets, etc., and provide the specific code and detailed instructions to create this page using WordPress Elementor Builder, please. It also needs to be way more interesting and engaging. Consider images and graphics, but remember that this is specifically according to this adjustment here. And within 3 prompts, it ended up coming away with those instructions. As you can see here right on the right-hand side, it literally gives you, let me go all the way up to the top, it gives you the specific builder instructions. Create a new page, literally hammers it step by step for you. right? Tells you, okay, these are the primary colors. Go into this, do this, establish a container setting, right? Full layout width, and then height. You could go in and you set the height, you set the gap, you do all that stuff. And then when it does actually go ahead and get a little witty in terms of settings that are not specifically in Elementor, it goes ahead and actually gives you in some of those areas down there where it had a block text with the icons and stuff. It literally just gives you the code for it. So you just go into text editor, you hit code, and you hit copy, and you just paste it in there and done. Fantastic, right? So very cool. The other thing that in terms of the actual images themselves, I did end up using Google Gemini, the Nano Banana stuff, and basically just with a really good prompt, ended up basically giving it the instructions. So like in here, I uploaded a photo of the inside of the inside of the actual vehicle, and I said, create a business looking woman who's getting work done in the driver's side passenger seat, and it goes ahead and create it. Now within 1 or 2 shots, it got exactly what I wanted. Okay. And I made sure the reason why I uploaded the photo of her actual vehicle was because there's different trims in each of the Cadillacs in this case. And I wanted to make sure the trim was identical. So that's why I uploaded the photo for that. This, I just basically went to, this one may be from Ideogram. Basically, I went to Ideogram, I used Lux, I used Nano Banana, which is again Gemini. Just a really good detailed prompt. I really like the look of her eyes in this. I did tell it I wanted the powerful looking position, well-dressed businesswoman with kind of cinematic lighting, right? Make it speak a little bit. Fantastic. I love the look of it. I love even how the lighting on the side of her match it, considering it's on the side with the copy. It really draws you into that kind of photo. Really powerful. And then again, this was like copy and paste content, right? It gave me all that stuff directly, which was really neat. Same thing here with the image. In fact, I've got one with the guy up top in that rotator. It's the same dude. It's just in front of Cedar Point. You can see it right here, right? And kind of Cedar Point, you got the drag strip. I'm not sure I'm not sure some of it. It's just, and the little boy in the back seat's wearing a Cedar Point shirt. The girl in the front's wearing Disney, which either way, it doesn't really matter. I wanted enough opacity on it to give me a little bit of, it needs to establish the emotion, but not really draw too much attention to the image. So it's got a little bit of a background overlay on it, which again, I knew how to do it already, but I could have, if I didn't know how to do it, I could have asked Claude to help me with that, and it would have he gave me the directions for it. But again, these were all copy and paste like directly right on in here. So really cool, really cool.